Hey y'all, what's up? Your girl's back at it again. This is a brand new episode of Gifted Since '92. I will be talking about what happened to R&B, and it's a part two. So, I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty as always. I'm very blunt in my observations to this current state of R&B music, and also it also has to deal with the current R&B female artists. And I will mention the R&B female artists that I've supported, and I will talk about how the music is trash nowadays. But I will talk about these new R&B female artists that are getting themselves out there and they're doing their thing, and people supporting them, and that's what's up. But also, I will keep in mind my favorite R&B female artists that I've supported, and I feel like at this state is room for more than one female artist. And we already know about the politics. We already know about this bullshit narrative that only two black female R&B artists can succeed in this music industry, which is bullshit because I grew up with a lot of talented R&B female artists throughout previous generations, and so on and so forth. So let me start off with why I think it's really stupid that people will not support female R&B artists, R&B, in that aspect, in that realm, in that lane, because I feel like this current generation, they don't really appreciate music. I don't really think they really have a good ear of listening to different people. They're so used to listening to who's on the radio. And for these R&B female artists that I really see the potential and I see the talent anyway. So I'll mention Ella Mai, she's doing her thing. Her's doing her thing. Who else? SZA. Now, let me start with SZA. SZA, I love SZA. I think SZA's talented. I've listened to her album, Control. That album is a good album. She's been doing her thing, and ever since like last year, about a good last year, she's been doing her thing, like booking stages, performing at the BET Awards and stuff. About, I would say she's been out for a little while, so she's still fresh. She's still new. But the thing is, now I'm concerned because I found out that she messed up her vocals, and now it's like, damn. Then she said my second album will be my last album, and it was like, okay, wow, it would be cool for you to keep doing music. But see, this is the issue that makes me upset, because I feel like the stigma of not having more than one black successful female artist at a time, it's like it can't exist. It's not. It's almost like it's happened before. And with SZA, for her to get her shine, and for her to do well for her, it's like it was really refreshing to see another black female artist besides, I'll name Beyonce and Rihanna. They've been doing their thing, but I feel like, up in this coming generation, we're gonna have more female R&B artists. They're gonna get in the music industry, but I feel like it's also the music industry's bullshit about why you got talented artists like SZA and Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe is another one, because Janelle Monáe have been in the music industry for like years. Like, she's not new, but I've noticed she's been getting more support. She put out this this new album. I can't think of the name right now, but I listened to it in its entirety, and I have to say that album is good. She's talented. She makes good music. So it's really cool to see more than one female artist get their shine. And then I'm looking at, okay, I've even noticed with Ella Mai. Ella Mai, she's talented. I've heard that song, Boot Up. Now, at first, I heard the song numerous times. I've heard the song on heavy rotation. I was like, who's this chick performing this song? And I found that it was Ella Mai. And I was like, okay, not Ella Mai, my bad. Ella Mai. I don't want to butcher the girl's name. Ella Mai. So Ella Mai, she's from London. So she's been doing her thing. She put out a couple EPs, like mixtapes. So I haven't been like following her like that. But me seeing recently, it was the BET Awards. I think it was This year, yeah. She was on like that stage in the BET Awards. I forgot the stage. It was like a little mini stage, like for the R&B artists to like do their thing. So she was on there. I was like, oh, that's okay, cool. You singing that boot up song? I like it's cute. I like the song. Very refreshing to hear something different in R&B. So she's doing her thing. Then you have this other R&B singer named H.E.R, and she's doing her thing. And I recently heard like that song with her and Daniel Caesar. I know the song. I can't think of it at the top of my brain right now, but it's like she's doing her thing. And then recently she put out a EP prelude called I Used to Know Her. And I heard that EP. I was like, wow, this sister, she's legit. And she can sing. I like her vocals. I like her harmonies. She gives more of that dark R&B hip hop flavor vibe, but she reminds me of Lauryn Hill and a little bit of Mary J. Blige. I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan, and I love Lauryn Hill, so that's what's up. So the sister, she got it going on. She even said Lauryn Hill and Stevie Wonder and Aaliyah, her influences, from them. I read in some articles and some magazines. So it's like for me to get to know, do research on these artists. That's what I like to do. I like to do research, and I like to, before I even see like what they're about, just like to do research and listen to their music. Also, we got this other talented female artist named Danny Lay. Now, I'm a fan of Danny Lay. I love Danny Lay. I think Danny Lay, she got something going on. I like her flavor, what she's doing with her music. Now, Danny Lay, Prince, he mentored her. He knew her. He got her like opportunity for her to direct his video, Breakfast Can Wait. And she got the opportunity. He had sent an email to her. Well, his team sent an email to her. It was years ago, a couple years ago. And he wanted her to direct a video for him, Breakfast Can Wait. So it was really cool for her, an experience for her. Say, wow, Prince, out of all the people, Prince wanted me to direct his video. And she was so honored, and she was so thankful that she got to, like meet the man, talk to the man. And the man had said some, encouraging words to her, and said that, she's talented, and, she's doing her thing, and she's a singer and she's a dancer. And she's been dancing, she said, since she was 14, doing like ballet tap, like hip hop and all of that. So I'm like, okay, dang, like she had released a EP last year called Summer with Friends. I've listened to that EP. It's really good. And then recently she released a song called Flame and this record called Lil Baby. Now, Lil Baby is my shit. I love Lil Baby. It's more like that hip hop trap kind of beat flow to it, and I like how she's playing in that trap and R&B feel. So it's really cool to see her get her shine. And she's booking a tour. She's on the road, with Teyana Taylor. So they're doing their thing. So that's what's up. So it's like, dang, Lay, she got something going on, and so she's supposed to be putting out her new album the debut album called The Plan, which I'm going to get. So it's like, for me to listen to a variety of female artists is no different from the ones that I grew up listening to, especially in my era, because I grew up listening to Aaliyah. That's my girl, too. Mary J. Blige, that's my girl. Brandy, that's my girl. And Mariah Carey is another one. You got Donna Summers, Toni Braxton, Janet Jackson, Maya, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight. A lot of them. Oh, Whitney Houston. I can't forget Whitney. I can't forget Miss Whitney Houston. Bless her soul. But it's like, I'm seeing how each generation we get to see a new crop of female artists and female R&B artists doing their thing. And I feel like in this current generation, they need to see that. They need to see more of a variety. But the issue is because we got the stupid ass Stan Wars, then we got these trolls, and then we got these people that are so quick to call these female artists that do put in the work ethic, that do put in so much hard work and dedication, and they do it the right way. And it's like, still, they're being labeled called flop, because of the album sales, and sometimes they're dealing with like mismanagement from, the record label and all together. So it's really frustrating, especially for the female artists that I have supported and the ones that, I connect with their music, and then I deal with, because I really don't give a fuck, because I can care less. Like I said, I don't care who listens to who. You don't like who I listen to, that's fine. But it's like the female artists that I support, and they're underrated. They're the underdogs. And you got some of them that I've supported for years. I've never ever like had this mentality, I'm not going to buy your music no more. I'm not going to support you. I love your music because I just love your music. You know, you have a connection. I have a connection with you as a human being and as an artist and as a female. So it's like, you know, I've been holding it down. I've been doing my thing. So I love music. And they get called flops. Oh, she's not hot no more. Oh, you know, she's old. She's washed up. You know, and then they go on to the next female artist and they're going to do the same thing with her. But that just goes to show you how you have these so-called fans and these so-called supporters of music. They'll be so quick to say, oh, well, you know, an artist is not doing well in sales and stuff. They don't go out their way to buy the music. For example, H.E.R. You know, I'm a H.E.R. fan. I'm a H.E.R. fan forever. I will keep being a H.E.R. fan, and there's no way I will never leave my fan card for H.E.R. because I'm gonna tell you something. H.E.R. she is an example of a female artist that's been in the game for like 14 years and counting, and she's put out 6 albums. She's done a lot of great things in her career. I feel like H.E.R. to me, she's the underdog. And this is what I say as a H.E.R. fan, and I'm being very honest. H.E.R. is the underdog. I feel like H.E.R. at this point in her career, we've seen her ups and downs. I've seen her ups and downs. I have been there for her since day one. Ever since I heard drop you already know. You already know who H.E.R. is. I don't have to run down all the lists, but that's the record that started it all. It started it all. And then we've had hit records after classics. And I feel like the reason why H.E.R. doesn't get enough support in my perspective, and as a H.E.R. fan, I have seen how people, the ones that always have had something to say about her, have said that, you know, she's not going to last. You know, people are not interested in her music. You know, she's a flop. You know, for somebody that's been labeled a flop so many times and still put out music and still can get hit records, you know, and still maintain longevity, for her to be considered that flop and people try to act like she never accomplished anything. You know, H.E.R., you know, she never made good music. But see, the issue is, I've said this countless times before in my previous videos. You've seen my videos of H.E.R. You know, I've said people don't appreciate a talent like her. And for me being a H.E.R. fan, I feel like, you know, me supporting her, I've always supported her. I've always looked forward to listening to her music. I've seen H.E.R. twice in concert, and I look forward to seeing her again for this new album, for album number 7, C7 season. So I feel like for H.E.R. to still push through and be resilient regardless of her naysayers, regardless of people who have said, you know, nobody's checking her for no more, but guess what? She's still doing her thing, you know. And I feel like, even as I said, you know, for her putting out 6 albums and still, I guess at this point, we know that, yeah, over the years, her album sales decline, but she still managed to push through and not give up. And that's why I respect H.E.R. I respect artists like H.E.R. And as a H.E.R. fan, I have gotten people have said, talk shit about H.E.R. You know, I was like, I don't care. That's my girl. So yeah, like I said, you can't tell me nothing about H.E.R. because I've seen H.E.R. grow into a mature artist. She has grown into a person, and she's, you know, down to earth. And I feel like for the ones that keep saying like H.E.R., you know, don't really have that appeal or that mainstream appeal to become that big household name, but H.E.R. to me, it's like all the things that H.E.R. have been through in her career. And if you look in like my video, rant C Squad video, you'll see what I've said about H.E.R. And I'm not gonna get so too far off in that, but I know that H.E.R. you know, the fans that rock with H.E.R, we've always been rocking with H.E.R, and I got a lot of respect for H.E.R fans that stood by her side and never gave up on her, you know. And yeah, we've been doing her, you know, we've been holding down for H.E.R, you know. So that's just how H.E.R fans, that's how we roll. But I feel like H.E.R recently, she we know about, she put up the Level Up video, and then she put out the Freak Me video. So she put out 2 songs so far, Level Up and Freak Me. So they've been seeing what she's been up to, and so she's getting more buzz out here again. And also Janet Jackson, she's another boo of mine. I love Janet Jackson, she's cool. Janet Jackson, she recently received the Icon Award for the Black Girls Rock, and H.E.R presented her the award. So that was cool to see 2 black queens get along. Janet Jackson, she paved the way for artists like H.E.R and many more. And Janet Jackson, I'm telling you, Janet Jackson, I'm so glad Janet Jackson's still making music. And regardless of people have said about Janet Jackson's the queen. Janet Jackson, everybody knew who Janet Jackson is. We've seen Janet Jackson grow. We've seen Janet Jackson through her stages of going through things in her career. But Janet Jackson is another one that she's resilient. And she has so much grace, too. I love Janet. I think Janet, because I grew up with Janet Jackson, too. Like, my little black ass, I grew up watching Janet Jackson. You know, watching her dance videos and, you know, it just everything. And I feel like because the things that she's been through, she kind of kept herself away from she did for a while, you know, because all this other stuff, you know, Michael Jackson, you know, Michael, I'm a huge Michael fan. I don't want to cry, but you know what I'm talking about. But Michael Jackson, and then, you know, she just took a break from music for a while, and then in 2015, she came back with No Sleep, featuring J. Cole. So I was like, wow, see, you know, Janet Jackson's like, she never left. You know, so now she recently she had put out this album called Unbreakable. Not recently, but a couple years ago, 2015. I had the album. It's really good music. Janet, you know, she's doing her thing, and it's like for this generation to see how Janet is still being appreciated because her fans grew up with her, and for the Janet fans to see her grow up from like generations and all that, it's good to see Janet still making music. And then recently she put out this video with Daddy Yankee called Made for Now. I love that record. It is so good. It's like more that uplifting kind of record, you know, got people dancing and colorful and more of this, you know, being happy and just living your best life and just looking forward to things. And I love that Janet Jackson, she's always have done her thing. She never followed the trend. And even if she did follow the trend a little bit, it would be her own, not just going out and doing what everybody else is doing. So it's like Janet Jackson, yeah, she's still doing her thing. I'm glad she's still making music. So yeah, so like H.E.R, you know, I'm telling you, people are gonna have to realize H.E.R is still gonna do her music and make her music. And at the end of the day, real H.E.R fans, the ones that been there for H.E.R, we're gonna be there for H.E.R, you know, and that's just how it is. And speaking of that, I'm very excited for H.E.R. I'm really am excited for H.E.R. I feel like this album should be an album that H.E.R, you know, she's a parent now. She got 2 offspring. I just want that H.E.R in your face, you know, that like, I don't want to say the words, but she said, just check on that 4th album, Basic Instinct. She said, and when you know what, I'm a you know what. I said, okay, you guys gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna say that. It's just between, you know, being a H.E.R fan. Because H.E.R fans, we know what she gonna do. You know, we know what she about to do. You know what she gonna. We know what she gonna do. We know. So anyway, yeah, cool. And okay, another artist that I've supported, Tinashe. Now recently, Tinashe, I've said this in my last video, Tinashe, you know, put out Joyride in April, and Tinashe fans have been, you know, supporting Tinashe since day one. And I feel like Tinashe is another female artist people overlook because of how, like I said, if more people would have more of an open mind to just listen to different female artists such as her, then we wouldn't really get to see her. We would really get to see her more out there. But anyway, she's still making music. She's in the studio making her music and stuff. But I feel like Tinashe really is another female artist that she makes good music. You know, all of her mixtapes and the previous two albums that she put out. I feel Tinashe is another underdog. I feel like Tinashe basically she's another talented female artist that she can really shake the table too. But the issue is because we've had this, here with this damn Tinashe is a flop. Tinashe is not really all that, her appealing all that. But I'm sitting here like, okay, well, Tinashe's a flop. That's fine, Tinashe's a flop. But I tell you what, it's not going to take away her talent. She's a flop. In y'all eyes, she's a flop because y'all don't go out and support her music. You don't go out and support her music. I have. So, okay, I support a flop. Okay. But see, that's what I'm saying is I feel like Tinashe, with that talent that she has, I feel like even when I said from my previous video, she needs better management. She needs a solid team that respects her vision as an artist. And even with that, charisma and that natural stage presence. And when I saw her at the Fillmore, that was in 2016, that was at the Fillmore, I was like, okay, I bought Tinashe's album Aquarius, let me go see her, and I was not let down. That girl, full entire package, slay that damn stage, the full entire package. And also Tinashe, she's influenced by Jan Jackson as well. And H.E.R. and Tinashe, they a couple years ago, 2015, Jan Jackson was on at the BT Awards, and I think it was 2016. Try and get it right. I think it was 2016. But Tinashe and H.E.R, both of them, that Jan Jackson influenced both of them. So they got the opportunity to show their talents and paid homage to Jan Jackson. So it's like, I just don't understand why we've had greats and we still got greats like Jan Jackson. Jan Jackson, she's still great. But I'm just saying in general, we've had greats like then and now still present. I'm just saying greats like Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Toni Braxton, Brandy, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. I mean, and I feel so sorry for this generation because I feel like they really don't really know, like some of them really don't know music like that. And I feel like I understand that you don't have to be a solid music expert. Now me, I grew up with music, so I grew up listening to all kinds of music in my household being played. So I know so much about music. But for some people that haven't been exposed to music like that, that's fine. But when they're interested in listening to, who's out on the airplay, like who do you listen to, what did the kids listen to, and people do go by what the kids listen to. Some people say, what, well, the kids, they listen to such and such and so and whatever. So it's like, okay, cool, and for me, I grew up listening to all the old school music up until now, and I'm very like picky about who I listen to because I feel like I just, in my perspective, for me to support you, your music gotta hit me home. It gotta pull my heartstrings. I feel like your music it has to have a story and the things that you've been through and help me, and there's been plenty of artists that I have supported along the way. I got all their albums, well, just about, some of them I do, and I feel like with them being able to express themselves in their music, that's all that matters. So when I see how you got some of these stands, these fans, they tearing these artists down. Your fave is less than my fave. Your fave has never got no #1 album. Your fave don't have this and that. Your fave is a flop, and your fave thing. And I'm like, y'all doing all of that, but y'all just really don't. Y'all don't support the music. Y'all so concerned about charts and #1 status and Billboard. And then I feel like even for the underrated artists and the ones that haven't gotten that much exposure because of, the like everything about the music industry and politics. That plays as well, because that's how some people, they don't even go out their way to support. I mean, I'm not saying to dictate to people like who you support, who you don't support, but that's like artists like Sierra and Tinashe and Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan's another one. Jasmine Sullivan, that talent, that great of a talent, but like I said, she's overlooked because, like I said, it boils down to this image, this marketing, and everything about, well, if you don't look a certain way, you won't be on that level of, I'll just put it out there. I love Beyonce. Beyonce's talented, of course, but it's almost like you won't be like Beyonce or Rihanna. And it's like, I feel like also those two, for example, they have reached that much success in their careers, and they've accomplished for themselves in their careers. Their fan bases are very dedicated, and I feel like for them, and when people look at other female R&B artists and even the people around, it's like, oh, you're the next Beyonce, this person's the next Rihanna. No, Beyonce's Beyonce, Rihanna's Rihanna. There will never be another Beyonce, because Beyonce is only Beyonce. Just like how they say about Aaliyah. And I'm a huge Aaliyah fan, huge baby girl fan. Every single time, when they see another female artist, and I understand you're going to have some little bit similarities, or she remind you of somewhat like Aaliyah. But to say she's the next Aaliyah and the new Aaliyah, no, honey, no. Because I'm going to go off on your ass. Especially Aaliyah. Because as much that woman, she ain't with us on this earth, but her presence and her legacy forever. Don't ever say this R&B female chick is the next Aaliyah. There will never be another Aaliyah. Aaliyah was only one Aaliyah, and that's that. Same thing with Michael Jackson. I go crazy over Michael too. There will never be another Michael Jackson. I feel like that's the issue when people don't do their research on these artists coming to the music industry, and they want to compare them so quick to be the next Michael Jackson, the next Beyonce, the next Rihanna, the next Mariah Carey. No, there's only one. They got to be the next version of themselves as an individual. So I feel like, hey, you like who you like, that's fine. But that's like, as a human being, I can't be nobody else. I only got to be me. All I can do is be me. I can't be so-and-so, and vice versa. I can't be somebody else. So I feel like people have this obsession with how, these artists, all they want to do is just make music, and make their fans happy, and that's it. All this extra stuff, we don't need that. And that's how I feel like, even with these stupid ass fan bases, they get in their feelings about, just because they fave ain't the only fave out there, the only fave getting recognition, and they see somebody else doing their thing. It's like, oh, she just thinks she got that. Well, oh, our fave has done this. And it's like, y'all shut the fuck up. Y'all do too much. Y'all be so that damn concerned about who's number one. Why don't you just fucking put your fucking ass, go to the damn store and buy the fucking albums, and then we'll see the outcome. Other than that, stop with that stupid shit. But I feel like it's so sad, and especially with female artists, I feel like you got plenty of male artists people like and they support, and it's like, it's all good. But female artists, it's a different story. But this been going on for years. And just like I've said about another talented female artist, Normani Corday, we know she's from Fifth Harmony, so she's going solo. And this is my thing, and I've made observations, and I have seen how Normani Corday fans go in. They support her. I support her too. I look forward from hearing music from her. I really do. I think Normani is talented. Well, we just gotta see like what the strategy in her promotion and marketing of her album, because I feel like that's the key thing. The solid team and promotion has to be on point. It has to be on point. It got to be like consistency. So I saw how like some people were over analyzing Normani Corday and comparing her to her bandmate Camila Cabello. And Camila Cabello, she's doing her thing because she was part of Fifth Harmony too. She went solo first, so she decided to go solo. And then Normani Corday and the rest of the girls, they were still doing the album and stuff. And then that was when I think about a year later they decided to go separate ways and do the solo thing. So that's what's up. But I feel like Normani Corday, for her to really get the support, people got to show it. People got to show. People got to show. They got to buy her music. They got to go buy the albums. Because I feel like, some people, they say, well, we support such and such. But you got to really show it. You can't just say, well, I support. And I don't get it twisted. I understand about, other things. You may not be able to support. But I feel like, you striving to really support these people, buy the albums, go see them in concert. You're gonna have to, like I said, just step up and just do your part and just go for it. Because I feel like a talent like Normani Corday, and some people have said, well, she may not really be as big as Camila Cabello, or they've said, she really ain't all that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But y'all want to compare her to her bandmate, who really, to me, she's doing her thing. So, and then the fans of Normani Corday, they're like, listen, Normani's already doing her thing. She's doing records with other people. She did a record with Khalid, that record, and then she did a record I think recently called, I think it was, who's on the record? Jessica Reyes and Kalani. So she's doing her thing. So I feel like at the end of the day, I just really see her being her own entertainer, and she can sing and she can dance, and it's like there's room for her. But it's the people that they say, okay, well, we'll see what she's about. But I feel like also, I don't really think, there's not enough dedicated fans. There's some fake fans, and I've even have said this previous with, like, even in my experiences as a real fan of, people that I bought their albums. I got all their albums. And for the ones that said, well, Normani Corday, she ain't all that and stuff. Listen, Normani Corday, you can always talk about that girl. That girl, she's on her way. Because I read an article about her growing up in New Orleans, and she went through some stuff about, she was a survivor of the Hurricane Katrina, her family, so they had to let go and relocate and stuff. She's very down to earth. I've gotten to see her interviews. I think she's very sweet. I think she's humble, which is why I like her. I like talented, humble artists. And she wants to do her thing. And she said, you know what? She said, I just want to make music, make people happy. I just want to, the things like when I was in a group, I really couldn't like express myself all the way because I was in the group. And I understand that, because when you're in a group, it's like each of the girls, they get to express themselves. But it's like, as her being a solo artist, she has the opportunity to just do her own groundwork and just be able to like just do her. And I look forward for her. I think Normani Corday, she's talented. The sister's doing her thing. I look forward to listening to her music. So she got people working with her on this debut album. I look forward to it. So that's what's up. So it's like, as far as I'm concerned, I just think that, it's really important for people to just support the music. You may not, everybody has their different music tastes. Everybody's not going to like everybody, and that's fine. But I feel like when it boils to female R&B artists, we got to do our thing. I look forward to just supporting, the ones I've supported. And I don't really think, I just really don't really see myself like, especially with like, okay, an artist like H.E.R. And as much as people have said H.E.R. is this and that, I never saw her like, I'm not going to buy no more of your music, And I feel like even with her sometimes, I think she just needs a new direction with her music, and she needs new people on her team. Because it's been a while. It's been a journey as a H.E.R. fan. But like I said, I support girly. Yeah. Resilient. And I like how, what did I say about, I feel like even when we've have said, like, you have a lot of these female R&B artists, I just feel like it's really it's really annoying how people will always say, only like one or two or three can be the standard of the music industry, but the rest of them, I always say, they get left on a damn island, desert on an island. So, you know, but that's just how I look at things. But yeah, and also let me talk about something else I want to talk about. I'm gonna talk about, okay, what do I want to see in a change for R&B music and for music in general? Because at the end of the day, it's about the music. It's about people just liking who they like. But I feel like even with this current state of R&B, and I'm looking at all these current R&B artists, and I'm just looking at who I'm seeing, and I got to see and hear their music. So I've always have had an open mind, and I've said, you know what? I like who I like. I'm gonna buy your music. I like your stuff. You're gonna get my support, and that's it. I'm not here to get into these arguments, stand wars. Because it's really stupid. Because I feel like the way that we see with what the people are doing, they're making it really hard for these artists, especially these female artists, to even break the doors, to even get in, to even you know, be great in their own lane. And I feel like you got these stand wars, you got these people coming in, people's social media accounts, and I feel like at the end of the day, hey, they're not your cup of tea, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be arguing with these crazy fools now. Don't get twisted. I will kind of drag here and there, but I vent a little bit. And sometimes I do vent, but I just get to a point where it's like, okay, whatever. It's a broken record, you know. So what I really want in R&B music, I want the music to be soulful again. I want people to just see a variety of talented R&B artists, and that's what I mentioned in my last video, because I feel like R&B needs to still progress. It needs to still be more. It just needs to sustain. Oh, let me mention, since I mentioned girl groups, I cannot leave without June's Diary. June's Diary. We've seen June's Diary doing their thing, but this is the thing that got me upset too, because I feel like at this point, June's Diary, I will support June's Diary. I will be there for June's Diary, and I will see June's Diary, and I will buy their album, because you know what? When I was growing up, Destiny's Child was out when I was little, and it's amazing how we got a black girl group, R&B girl group. They're out here doing their thing. They're hustling. They're trying to get their names out, but because of this fucked up music industry, and that's how I've said, you got to make sure you have a solid foundation and a solid team behind you, because I feel like with that talent, all of them can sing, and how I roll about June's Diary. You saw my previous videos. Frank Gaston, I got a lot of respect for the man. I got a lot of respect for him, because he said, listen, these girls, they're about their business. These girls, they got talent. They're doing their thing, and he encourages them, and he's there for them. He means well. He really do. He means well. And I saw how I said, by the interview, he said, what, some things I didn't like, I did not tolerate, but I had to keep it pushing. I had to find the resources for them, promote their stuff, get more, opportunities for them to go on tour with other artists. I even mentioned Jussie Smollett. He's cool. He's a talented R&B male artist. He's doing his thing. So he, allowed them to get the opportunity to be on his tour, and they've been doing their thing. And I don't care for these hating ass June's Diary hating. You're gonna have the bird chirp mofos. They hating on them, talking about June's Diary ain't this, they ain't gonna make it out. Alright, y'all, fine. That's okay. Okay. Because at the end of the day, guess what? They living their dream. They're doing their stuff, and you don't rock with them. That's fine. But you will deal with the June's Diary fans. I be seeing us going off. I be seeing JD Squad go off the rocket. June Bugs, JD Squad. What's up? I see y'all. And I even not even vent because I'm like, these people, they put in so much into their music, and the crowd is like, you don't like their music, that's fine. But to just go out your way just to like tear them apart, that's on you. You're miserable and you got issues. But anyway, June's Diary, yeah, they're another one. I feel like June's Diary, can be another successful girl group in R&B, and I want them to be successful, and I will be there for them forever. I think that we should be able to see some new updates from them in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, because I really want to see how they still keep putting out music. And recently they did put out the EP All of Us back in June, so that's cool. But I feel like I just want this debut album, but I know I gotta be patient. I know everybody has to be patient. They have to be like patient because they can't rush through the process. But because of everything that was going on, it's like, fuck. Okay, that's all good though. And I be seeing them JD fans, they be like making they little, why? Because guess what? There are people that are miserable and they ain't got nothing going on for themselves. And when they see other people doing their thing, they just gotta say something. And that's just how it is. So yeah. So June's Diary, I think that we should be getting new music from them anyway. And their debut album, I know I've read on Twitter, my social media account, like they're supposed to be putting out their debut album. So we will see. We'll see. But yeah, we got so much talent. We got so much in R&B talent, R&B artists, and R&B female artists. I just feel like it's room. And all this extra stuff, all this nitpicking and all this extra, it's going to go out the window. Because this is about the music at the end of the day. And it's really disturbing how this current, all they think about, I understand about we want to have high sales and success. And you want to have your music on the charts. But I feel like you want to put out quality music, and it should be able to sell. Just like back in the days, well, I don't even like, well, yeah, previous generation, I said about Brandy, Aaliyah, Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, Toni Braxton, Whitney Houston, Sade. They sold albums, millions of records. But that was when the music industry, they got their stuff together, because it was more about, it was the talent, it was the marketing, and it was the image. And you had to have all of that. But at the end of the day, they focused so much on the talent and singing. Like, those people that I mentioned, can sing. Nowadays, it's all about auto-tune. If you can't sing, anybody can be like, oh, well, okay, But you got talented artists like June's Diary that should be already getting themselves out of there. Should be already like getting more promoted and more, just get more opportunities. But it's all good. It'll be all right. But yeah, I just want to say what I had to say about what I think about this current of R&B artists, especially the females. So this is the part 2. So like, what happened to R&B? We just need the soul. We just need everything back. We just need that music back, R&B and hip hop and soul and all the good stuff. So just like, subscribe, comment, share. Tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about these artists I mentioned? Tell me about, who do you listen to? Do you listen to even the new R&B female artists that I mentioned too? Tell me other female R&B artists that you would like for me to listen to. Have any suggestions? Me like go listen to their music. I don't care who it is. Just let me know down below, comment. Stay tuned on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z Gifted Since 92 narrator reference. Peace.